Welcome to the mat setup for the Fun at the Fair Challenge for 2016-2017. I'm going to try to make this as simple as we can tonight. When you look at your mat, unroll your mat so that the mat has the time to rest, so that all the wrinkles in it kind of go away. After about an hour or so, if the wrinkles are still there, you can take a hair dryer or some other mild heat source, nothing that's going to burn, but something that's a mild heat source, like a hair dryer on low, and just wand the hair dryer over top of the mat, and it'll get rid of any wrinkles that you have. When your mat is ready to place, the two walls that are the most important for your mat are the east wall and the north wall. So that when you place your mat on your board, the mat should be resting against the north wall and the east wall. Now, if it's rolled up on the edge of the wall, you'll want to pull it to the west or the south as necessary. But just know that with the quad formation, the common area among everybody's board is the quad platform, and it's this corner. So everybody's mat should touch the north wall and the east wall. Now with your mat touching the north wall and the east wall, two things are going to happen. One, either there's a gap on the south and the west wall, and if there's a gap on the south and west wall, that's good. Or the other thing that may occur is there's too much mat left over. In other words, if the mat's against the north wall and against the east wall, but it's rolled up on the south wall or the west wall, you're going to have to take a knife, a utility knife, and cut the edge of that mat off so that it fits correctly. The mat should be completely flat after you get it placed. The only other thing that I recommend is you've got 4 feet of dual lock, doubled, that you may want to cut a quarter or a half-inch strip and place it periodically around the exterior of the mat to keep it in place. Either double-sided tape or the dual lock are the best things to keep your mat in place throughout the practice season. The next thing, since I've already mentioned the dual lock, is you are going to find 4 feet doubled for a total of 8 feet of dual lock in your set. Now when you look out here on the mat, you're going to see the letter DL periodically on the different mission object locations. Wherever you find the lettering DL, that means that you need a half-inch of dual lock placed on each DL that you see for that mission object. When you look across the entire mat, there's 42 locations for DL on your mat. So you're going to need 3.5 feet of this cut into half-inch sections so that all your mission objects will be attached. That'll give you roughly 6 inches. If you cut it exactly using a cutting board, you should have roughly 6 inches of dual lock left over so that you can use the dual lock to tape down the edges of the mat or just save the dual lock for future use. The next thing, after you get all your dual lock cut, I recommend that you keep the pieces top and bottom together. Keep them attached and keep the paper backing on the dual lock. What you're going to want to do is when you have your mission objects assembled, you're going to want to select the mission objects and place them out on your table. Put them on the mat where they go. And what I recommend doing is for trigger number 2, I recommend taking your dual lock and peel one side of the paper backing off of it, place it on the trigger number 2 mission object, press it down nice and hard, so therefore you've got the top and bottom together of dual lock. Then take the paper backing off the second piece of dual lock, find its location on the mat, and place trigger number 2 over the outline on the mat. Press it down firmly, and then it's good to go for your practice. We'll do one more. On this one, you've got your basket toss. And you're going to notice on the basket toss that the Lego brick is actually upside down. You're also going to notice on top that there's a lip over here that's raised, and on one side it's lowered. So the easy way to look at this is there's connecting points on the top and bottom of my basket here. It's going to go on a triangle. So if you look at the corners, they kind of make a triangle. So when you place this on the mat, you're going to match it up so that the triangle of the basket matches the triangle on the mat. So what we're going to do here is we're now going to take 4 pieces of the double dual lock, and we're going to remove just one side of the backing. And on the 4 corners of the basket, we're going to place the dual lock. Put it together nice and tight. Pull off the backing and place our second one in a corner. And we'll do that with the third one. I need my assistant here to pull the paper off for me. All right. So we got 3 of them on there, and now 4. So we have dual lock on the basket, on the Lego, green Lego on the bottom, and now we're going to position it just so. Remember the form of a triangle? Okay, that's how we're going to place it. We're going to take the paper backing off of all 4 pieces of dual lock. So now that I got the dual lock, top and bottom, I'm going to match up the triangle of the basket, match up the outline of the green Lego on the mat, and press it down firmly. Okay? So that one's good to go. Now there's only one other thing that I want to show you about the dual lock, and I want to move over to the entrance, the fair entrance. And it's kind of tricky in that the picture really doesn't show it, but there's 4 1/4-inch size pieces of dual lock. And if you notice on the fair entrance, you've got rounded edges and you've got straight edges. Well, on your 11M beam, that's the centerpiece of your entrance, you're actually going to rest the 11M beam so that when you look from above, it looks square. All right? Now on the other ones, since I had already mentioned them, with the rounded edges, they're going to match with the Legos on its side so that you see the rounded edges from above. All right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the dual lock on the 11M beam. And again, it's 4 1/4-inch pieces of dual lock, top and bottom. And you're basically just going to start from the outside edge on the right side and place 1 strip. Then you'll place the second strip, the third strip, with the third strip, start at the opposite end at the edge, and then the 4th strip. Come on off of there. All right, so now we've got 4 1/4-inch pieces of dual lock on the bottom of the 11M beam. If for some reason when you cut the dual lock, if it hangs over a little bit, You're just going to have knowledge of that as your students practice. But try to make the dual lock match the outline on the mat the best you can. I recommend using a cutting board to cut it to size. If a cutting board is not available, these 1/4 inch pieces are sometimes difficult to get correct, but just do the best you can. All right, now I got the backing off of all 4 of them. I'm going to look from above, and I'm going to place the 11M beam in place so that the outline is visible. All right, now I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the rest of the board, and then come back and show you all the mission objects.